Good morning, all the simple folks and simple Folkletons, simpleton folktons, whatever we decide on it. We're back at it again with another episode of the Fantasy Simpletons, a fantasy football show. I
Yep.
am your host, Kyle Fridland. Joining me, as always, is my brother and co-host, Jake Fridland.
Yes.
Nails, blades, mascara.
Fit check for my napalm era.
Need to beat my face, make it cute and savage. Oh, what a
That
great
movie's-
movie.
Yeah,
What
that
a what
movie's
a
too good.
surprisingly great movie.
I know.
I
think
I
that
enjoy it quite a bit.
dude,
Kenny thought it was good, but he thought the animation carried it more than
the
the
animation
other
was
stuff.
great.
He
Yeah.
doesn't like the music, and I'm like, you're
Really?
insane. He's insane.
Yeah.
He's absolutely insane. But
Yeah.
let's get back to the main topic on point there.
All right.
We are back at it with the NFC. We are breaking down more divisions here. More division breakdown talk. And we are doing today the NFC North.
Yep.
6th of the 8 divisions. And we're going to start with a fan favorite team. Everybody loves this team.
Mhm.
It's the Detroit Lions. Now, they have been a great offense for quite a few years now. They've been one of the most reliable teams for a while, but that's also because for a while they've had the same coaching staff. They've not just had Dan Campbell, they've had their offensive coordinator, their guru, Ben Johnson. He's now gone off to the Chicago Bears, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. But for right now, with all these coaching changes and coordinator changes, I wonder if this offense is going to be any different than it was beforehand, or if it manages to be, well, relatively the same as it was.
Right. Yeah, I don't it'll be something we'll have to see. I mean, um it begs the question, you know, what I think what Jameson Williams' role will look like.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's a big one. He could be a big joker in this offense because he
Yeah.
did very well last season, and there's wondering now if it's just if there's a step up to that. Can
Mhm.
he go even further?
Yeah, exactly, and I think the coaching staff stuck with him last season, like,
Yeah,
because they were the ones that got him, so,
they believe in him.
yeah, but then, it's just tough to tell if, you know, the new
Dude,
coaches are gonna do the same thing, so
just get him running a slant. Every other play I saw of him was him taking a slant pass like
Mm,
70 yards to the house.
yeah.
So he is a big play type of player. He's not as much like consistent production. Maybe he needs to work on that side of the game.
Mm,
But if you need a game where it's like, I need a guy that can just have high upside to get a lot of points in 1 week, Jameson Williams can certainly do that. And it makes him
definitely.
a highly valued, one of the bigger valued second wide receivers in the NFL, the
Yeah.
number twos.
Yes. Yeah. Underrated guy, with a lot of potential,
Yeah.
so,
As far
yeah.
as the running back crew goes, I would
Mhm.
mostly think it's the same as before, but with Ben Johnson out, I wonder if they're still going to use both running backs in the same roles. Is Jahmyr Gibbs going to have more of an uptick in production? Because we've seen him in the past. He might be the most efficient running back in the NFL with what he's given. He could easily be the number one running back if he was given all the touches, in my mind. But David Montgomery provides something completely different. Very power centered running back. They use
Mhm.
him to get a lot of close yardage touchdowns.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a chance that they might use him slightly less, or they might reduce his role over the season,
Right.
or go into him the same way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think he's very slept on though, just because Jahmyr Gibbs is such a great RB, and so young compared to Montgomery, but like David Montgomery's production hasn't changed. Like I feel like he hasn't slipped, you know? He
Yeah.
hasn't started taking a downfall. He just keeps producing. And really his only challenge or the only roadblocker um is Jahmyr. Like will they I don't know. Will they use Jahmyr more or will
Yeah.
they keep it the same? That is the question. I feel like it's tough to tell now. Um but I like Montgomery. I think if they used him the same as they did last year, he could be a great flex option for
I
sure.
think it should remain in consideration. David
Mm.
Montgomery is a great player. Like
Yeah.
undoubtedly, I love watching him run because he's a mean, angry running kind of guy.
Mhm.
But Jameer Gibbs, you almost have to consider it because of how efficient he is. It almost
Yeah,
feels like a crime when he's not on the football field. Like we need
that's
we
true.
need to we need to sometimes look at stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we should talk about anybody. How about Sam Laporta? Sam Laporta last season, a lot of fantasy people were disappointed with Sam Laporta. Even though he finished as tight end 7, you drafted him thinking he'd be the number 1.
Mhm.
I think he was overhyped a little bit from his rookie season, and that came back to bite him.
Yeah.
And I think now people are going with a much more like realistic expectation that he can actually overcome. Because I think he will start to pick it up and do better than he did last season.
Mhm.
Off of no real evidence. I just have that feeling. I got that gut feeling. But he was in the second half of last season, before getting some injuries, he was really picking it up and becoming a
Yeah, for
big part of the
sure.
offense again.
Yeah, earlier on in the season, everyone was saying, "Well, he's just a touchdown guy because that's what he did, when he was drafted in
Yeah.
2023." So, but yeah, you're right. He did start picking it up, and you know, I think it's just all about how they use him because I think he could be great all around the board, if they just give him more looks and use him in different places. Um, I like Sam Laporta. Um, so I don't. I think he's one of the. It's tough to not draft him kind of high just because he's on such a great offense, right? And he's a young um, tight end that could have a lot of potential. So I like Sam Laporta going in this year a little more than I did last year.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
he will do well. And I think Jared Goff will be about the same. He's kind of shown over the last couple of years of what he can do in this offense. I wouldn't necessarily trust him as like my main quarterback, mostly because there were a lot of games last season where they scored 50 points and he did nothing.
Mhm.
And there was some problems with when they had such an efficient offense, they didn't need him all the time. So he was very inconsistent and kind of risky. So I
Yeah.
guess from that sense, I'd try to avoid him as like my main option. Go after someone with like either very safe floor if you get him, or go after someone with high upside.
Mhm.
He's one of those guys where you kind of have to draft another quarterback not too far after.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And play it to matchups, play it to ear.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna move on to a team that their wide receiver room is very confusing. And it has been for the last couple of years. We have the Green Bay Packers. Um, Jake, give me a quick rundown. Tell me some of the receivers that we should look out for in this
Mhm.
offense.
Um, yeah. I mean, that's a loaded question because
Yeah,
you can really look out for a lot of them, right? We just don't.
anybody.
Yeah. There's no clear one. I would say coming off of last season before they drafted, Matthew Golden, who is now in the running to be maybe their number one. It was Jalen Reed or Jaden Reed,
Jaden Reed.
and um, his production was not too bad last season. I think I think there were just more some inconsistencies with Jordan Love. That's my whole thing with Jordan Love. Like, I think he's a fine quarterback, but I feel like sometimes he is inaccurate.
Yeah.
I think that shows, but he has so many weapons. Like all of these guys could be interesting. So yeah, I like Jaden Reed. I think he was expected to be the number one until Matthew Golden came in. And right now, Matthew Golden is an interesting prospect. He was one of the higher drafted wide receivers, a really speedy guy, and really tall, um, built prospect. So he could be interesting. I really like Romeo Dobbs personally. I think he's just always been very consistent, and he has great chemistry with Jordan Love. He's the guy that's kind of been around since before most of these guys. Because he was around with Aaron Rodgers before Jordan Love got put in that starter position. So I don't know, man. It's an interesting core, but definitely not bad. Like that, they all seem to have potential. Dontavian Wicks too. I think he's a little lower on the depth chart just because the other three, have shown to have a lot of production.
Yeah.
Um, Matthew Golden in college, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I I am hesitant, very hesitant with this wide receiver core.
Mhm.
There's something off. There's something wrong here. Because
Yeah.
on paper there should be somebody, but every season it feels like everybody has something, but not enough of the whole
Hmm.
thing. It's like they're all individual pieces of a pie. You have Jaden Reed, who they've only really been using as a deep ball threat.
Mhm.
Like he's not always on the field. He's not always getting targets. And it
Kind of a
kind of,
gadget guy.
yeah, but it was also kind of frustrating me because he showed multiple times like, oh, he's a big player that they weren't utilizing, even when injuries were
Mm.
kicking in. It was very odd in how they were using this core. And
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more from Jane Reed this season. Matthew
Mhm.
Golden, I have no idea what to think of him. I there's not he didn't do too much in college. He's more drafted on uh his intangibles more than his production.
Sure. Great
And he was
combine.
and he was one
One
of
of the
those guys
fastest.
that just came out of nowhere. I remember a
Mhm.
couple months into the draft, I'm like, wait, who's this Matthew Golden guy? I didn't heard anything about him. He was
Yeah.
they were originally looking at him like a fourth or fifth round draft pick, and he just shot up just out
Mhm.
of nowhere.
He's got
And
the prototype. He's like the typical X wide receiver prototype build, you know.
yeah, I guess I can see that.
That's what
It's
they're
just
saying.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I got to see it first,
Yeah.
and that's just drafting off a potential. Romeo Dobbs, I think I have a lot of thoughts on Romeo Dobbs.
Hey everybody! This guy's a great big phony! Hey
I
everybody!
don't think he's a
Whoa.
true I don't think he's a true wide receiver, top end wide receiver at all. And he likes in his mind he likes to think that. I know he thinks he's a big deal, holding out in camp, holding out not in this camp, but last season holding out during practice because he's not getting
Mhm.
enough targets. Dude, you weren't even in the top 50 wide receivers last season, and you like to think of yourself as important enough to where you're upset and holding out and getting suspended.
Top 50? He was in the top 50.
He was not in the
Insane.
top 50. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I looked it up not too long ago.
Wow.
He's
That's
not consistent enough.
that's crazy. I think he got injured for a little last season too, but fair enough, fair enough.
I'm not here's what I think. If
Mhm.
he were to get released today, I think he would be a wide receiver 3 for a team.
Dang.
I think some teams would try him as a wide receiver 2 and see him as a wide receiver 3.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
he's good as a depth piece, but I
Mhm.
don't think he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
And then you have Dontavian Wicks, who on paper could be the most complete of these wide receivers if he could catch the ball.
Mhm.
He had a massive problem with targets versus actual receptions last season. And it's one of the reasons he didn't actually break out when he should have when he was presented that opportunity. So I don't know. Someone has to step up. And maybe Golden's the guy because we just haven't seen him yet. But until I start to see it, I don't know if any of these guys are really at that level yet.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Also, I will say there's been a lot of talk this offseason about Romeo being traded. So
Should have happened.
yeah. And it's looking like it might not happen, but there's still some offseason left, so you never know. Um, but I think I think that I think he's good, bro. I know. Like I think he's one of the reasons that Jaden Reed, was not bigger than he is. Or
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. I feel like he should have he should be bigger than he is, but he's not because of Romeo Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs just has that chemistry with Jordan, and he is a contested catch guy. And he just I just feel like he always catches the ball. When you actually watch a game with the Packers, like you could see that when it goes to Romeo, he'll catch the ball, he'll produce a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he's a fine, consistent player. So if he stays here, I think he's going to be, you know, a great wide receiver 3, if not wide receiver 2. That's me, bro.
I don't know. I just get some bad vibes. Bad vibes from this whole receiving core. But
Yeah.
how
It's
about
shake.
Tucker Kraft though? Maybe the true savior's in the tight end. Tucker Kraft, I know last season he started to get a little bit more consistent production, make a move outside of just Luke Musgrave, where he
Mhm.
started to separate himself more, ended up as number 10 in the top 10 tight ends last year. Maybe he takes that next step forward and becomes
Yeah.
a reliable option, which maybe Jordan Love needs. Because how many
Mhm.
games did we watch of Jordan Love last season where he's just like, screw it, he's down there somewhere and just chuck
Exactly.
the ball into nothing?
Yes.
And so
Literally.
many people were upset about that. Well, here's a safe, easy, like if you need 8 yards, I'm sure he's there.
Yeah.
Give him a shot.
Yeah. No, definitely. And they have him and they have Luke Musgraves. I think those are 2 great young, you know, um, tight end talents that you could utilize in any offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a fan of Tucker Kraft. He's being viewed a lot higher than he was last season because of the way he produced towards the end of end of the season. So, I'm a fan.
Yeah. And last season, because the receiving game wasn't consistent, it meant they
Mhm.
leaned a lot on Josh Jacobs as well. Josh Jacobs had a very great season last year. I think even better than most people anticipated.
Yeah.
Definition of a workhorse. I think, especially if there's struggles again, we could see business as usual. Even Marshawn Lloyd, I haven't
Mhm.
been hearing too much about him, and he's been getting hurt again as well. So
Yep.
it might look as even if they wanted to run a committee, Jacobs is just he's the guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like
Very,
Jacobs.
very easy there.
Mm-hmm.
But if we want to talk about a team where there's a lot to talk about fantasy-wise, make no mistake when you talk about the Chicago Bears. Last season they had a lot of hype. There was a lot of excitement for a lot of different reasons. Did not turn out well. Well, the hype's coming back again. We'll see if it's actually justified this time around. But they got new head coach Ben Johnson, the big offensive guru everyone loves. Caleb Williams in his second year. Roma Dunze in his second year. They went out and drafted Colston Loveland and Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the big question here is this is all in Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the deciding factor of if this offense works or not. Because they tried to improve everything around him. They got a new offensive line. Already mentioned the newer weapons outside of the running back core. But this is a team that falls solely on his shoulders.
Yes.
Do you think he's the type of player where he's going to have that breakout this season?
I don't know. Man. But honestly, it's looking, people are leaning towards, he has the talent, he has the wide receivers, the wide receiving core, he's got a great tight end now, like he has everything he needs, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so why isn't he doing it? I don't know. I think he didn't look great last season.
People forget he didn't look great in his last season of college either.
Hmm.
He had a
USC.
somewhat of a disappointing season at USC.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's funny to me because he had all this promise. Like he was the number 1 QB drafted last season.
The golden child.
The golden child.
He was looked at as like an Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence type.
Dude, yeah, and I think out of all the like 5 QBs drafted in the first round, he to me looks the worst, bro. I mean, outside of Michael Penix, obviously you can't really count him because he didn't have much of a season.
Yeah, but even Michael Penix,
Kirk
he nearly
Cousins.
won a couple games.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It begs the question of, is it Caleb or is it, the Bears? Like,
Yeah.
is it the coaching staff? I don't know. But it's just tough to count him out because of how talented their wide receivers are.
They're so good.
So good, dude. And even the running backs, DeAndre Swift is a pass catching back. Like that's what one of the things he's known for. So I'm not counting him out. I just would rather choose a handful of guys over Caleb Williams. He's not what he should have been.
Throughout this offseason, I have gone back and forth on being optimistic versus skeptical on Caleb Williams. It's like every few weeks I sort of change my brain and my thoughts of what I think of him.
Yeah.
And I think right now, if you were to ask me in this moment, I think there's a chance he could be much improved.
Yeah.
Mostly because we have to credit some of it to the way the offense and team was run last year, especially the offensive line, which allowed like second or third most sacks in league history. Like he had a horrid offensive line.
Right.
They fixed up a lot of pieces there. You watch him and you can see he's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
But you can also watch him and see, unlike other players, he's incredibly flawed. Yep. He gets flustered a lot. He tries to make big plays when it's not there. He missed a lot of open receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not coming in saying like, I don't think it's fair to say it's on everybody but him. I think he needs to take some blame for that as well. And maybe he has. Maybe in his mind he knows he has to be better. But I think he is the deciding factor if this offense truly works or not.
Oh yeah.
As far as his receivers, I think this is a lot more fascinating with. I guess I want to talk about Roma Dunze first. He was drafted within the same stance of Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors, of these absolutely super talented top end wide receivers that can be the star of a franchise
in a stacked wide receiver
in a stacked wide receiver room.
Draft. Yeah.
But he got drafted to a team where he was seen as like the third receiver. He got opportunities here and there, but he kind of fell victim to Caleb Williams' play and the depth chart around him. Now going into his second season, I'm very high on the talent, on the player I think he is. If they truly see him and upgrade him to like that wide receiver 2 instead of 3 that he was, then I think he can very easily be a top 20 wide receiver this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that if everything goes right, he should be, like you were saying, he has everything that the Bears need to count on him. But it is tough just because of, I think, how stacked like the receiving room is.
It's a crowded room now.
It's a crowded room, and I think just as talented as Roma Odunze is, DJ Moore and Luther Burden are up there as well. So, and Colston Loveland.
Colston absolutely a very talented tight end that they drafted 10th overall.
Yeah,
very high draft pick for a tight end.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I think, Caleb could have a guy.
Yeah.
And who was the guy last year for Caleb? Was it DJ Moore?
The closest was DJ Moore. That was the closest. And DJ Moore did perform much better than people remembered. He was wide receiver 16 on the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's a great value to get in the draft because I don't think a lot of people are going to think of him super highly.
Definitely. Yeah, I think as, because he's the veteran of the group.
Yeah.
Right. Roman Luther is so young. So he's looking to be the clear WR1, and then it's a fight. I mean, I think Rome has that edge. He should. But Luther could step up. And so yeah, that's just me. I'm personally staying away from the Bears as a whole in fantasy. I don't have any Bears players. And that's solely because of how crowded everything is. And I don't like their RBs.
Yeah.
And I like Colston. Like, here's the thing. I like everyone. Take out the RBs. I like everyone on the team. But that's why I can't draft them, bro. It's just too hard to tell who's going to come out from a fantasy perspective on top. Should be DJ Moore, but I don't know, man. It's just so hard given the talent. So that's my stance.
No, you're 100% right. I think you're very right to a certain extent, maybe because I have some slight bias because I have both DJ Moore and Roma Dunze in different leagues. And I wasn't particularly happy about the Colston Loveland, Luther Burden pickups, but I can see why they wanted to do it. It's going to make this offense very good. There's a lot of talent to go around. Colston Loveland, I'm not too optimistic on him because of that reason, but maybe he's Sam Laporta. Maybe he's inconsistent, but he still has big games. Or Luther Burden, on the same aspect, he's interesting because he fell in the draft because he didn't have a great last season in college. And his intangibles didn't look super great. in when he did the combine, but then the coaches talk about him. There's like, well, there's a big difference between his 40 speed and his play speed,
Mm.
and that it jumps off a lot more when you actually watch him, which that it's a real thing. I fully believe
Oh,
that.
yeah,
So
I agree.
I could see him playing a role, but I think he's going to be more of a like what Xavier Worthy was for the Chiefs last year.
Hmm.
I think he'll have moments. I think he'll have spurts, but I think if maybe not if they're smart, but I think for me, I'd prefer if they kept it to DJ Moore and Rome Odunze because I think they are those types of guys.
Yeah.
And then we go to DeAndre Swift, who
We could
he
just
keeps
move
he
on.
he keeps finding his way into starting roles. He signed that 3-year deal with the Bears, so I think they wanted to get a running back during the offseason. Everything pointed to them wanting to do that, but
Mhm.
then it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, for where he's going in drafts, he could become a pretty good value for right now. Because if I check, he is currently going very low. He's running back 21. And I think that's fair. I think he can overdo that, especially if Ben Johnson comes in with the idea of running the ball first.
Mm.
Then DeAndre Swift could get a lot of looks and carries. If he wants to split it up, Roshan Johnson could be an interesting setup. They also drafted a 7th round rookie in
Yeah.
what is his name? His name's Kyle something.
Kyle
Got to represent the
Kyle
Kyles.
Mon guy.
Yeah, Kyle Mon guy, he's a long shot, but he's battling for depth right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I think the running attack could be very good. I'm just not sure
Hmm.
as to who can be that great because I think DeAndre Swift has a ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's not a very safe player to
Yeah,
have. Not a very safe running back because I don't know. He's just been on so many different teams and um he'll get hurt and then he'll look if he doesn't get hurt some games he'll look like poop.
look.
I'm saying, and then
Remember,
but some games he does really well. So
yeah,
it is tough. It is tough. I think if the usage is there, he's a fine flex guy to have. I would never start him personally as like a
yeah,
RB1, RB2, but he has an advantage over the other guys. Um, but I think if he slips up, he could lose it. Like
yeah,
that's just where he's at, I think, in his career. Being on different teams and like just playing how he does. I've never thought he was the most consistent guy. So if he can look good this, start of the season, he could be the guy moving forward. But I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he just gets knocked off by Roshan or you know Kyle Mongeis. But it's uh, tough to say.
We'll have
So
to see. I mean, with this team, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So we just got to make sure we got to just see what they do. Got to see
mhm.
what happens. But the last team that we are going to talk about today is the Minnesota Vikings. And there is one player I think that is worth talking about among all others, the question mark that is JJ McCarthy. I think on paper, he's coming into a fantastic situation. We saw what Sam Darnold can do in this offense with that offensive line, with a good running game, with two of some of the top wide receivers in the league, and good tight ends too. He
Mhm.
has everything set up for success. We have not seen him outside of one preseason game. What is the ceiling this season for JJ McCarthy?
I think it's tough to say that he'll come in and just assume the role that Darnold did,
Yeah.
you know. Obviously, the coaching staff chose to get rid of Darnold, and work with JJ. I think they wanted him from the beginning, um, you know, because of his rushing ability. And so I think that's a new aspect that he brings that Sam didn't particularly have. So I like JJ for that. And it's interesting too. He's actually I think he's the youngest quarterback in the league. And this is his second
Ooh.
year.
Yeah.
I think he's only 22 years old.
I knew
So
he was young coming out of college. Let me check here.
he's 22, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, 22 years old.
So yeah, I don't know. It just begs the question, like, I know I keep saying that. I put the question
Yeah.
back on you.
Well,
But
that's what a lot of fantasy football is. It's wait and see. We can't always
yeah,
predict.
exactly. And especially this off season. But from everything that I've seen in preseason, he seems fine. There were some shaky points, but it's all talk preseason, and he's totally set to be their guy. There's no one else like competing for the role. It's just like, will he produce in on this team like every other quarterback has? And you know, I think he's blessed to be on the team that he's on
Yeah.
because they're so good at helping their quarterbacks succeed. Um so yeah, I don't know. I like him, and I think he can definitely have a high ceiling, um, given the talent on the rest of his team. But I think he's more of an investment than an immediate start,
Mm, yeah.
right? So
Definitely a guy to value in Dynasty a lot.
definitely, yeah. I
I
had him.
think with.
Mhm.
Oh, no. You go first.
I was just gonna say I had him on my taxi squad all last year. Um, because you just it's that what if, Sam Darnold got turned around in this offense from
Yeah.
being
He looked
absolute booty.
amazing until the 11th hour.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, I don't see it going terrible, for him, but yeah, what do you think?
He's definitely one of those players where you might, because we don't have really anything on him NFL wise, you kind of have to look at college. I
Mhm.
mean, he played for Michigan. He was a part of the undefeated national champion team.
Yeah.
And from everything that I remember coming into the draft, my thought process was he's a lot like Brock Purdy.
Mm,
Uh, no, nothing like sticks out at you, but very safe, very easy. Like a lot of the thing was he doesn't necessarily have uh like a big floor. He has a very like what is it, low floor, high floor? No, it's high floor. Has a very high floor, and they don't know what his ceiling is, but he has a very high floor of he's a safe option.
mm,
He didn't throw a lot of picks. He was very consistent. He was kind of like a game manager quarterback, which I think if that's what he's going to be going into this offense, that's probably exactly what the coaching staff would want.
mhm,
Is a guy that at least as a rookie can come in and he's not going to screw it up.
mhm.
And he can come in and keep the offense running. It depends to see if he gets into a situation where the team has to rely on him specifically.
Right.
But if this team is run like the Niners are, which they've kind of been like that for a while,
Yeah.
then he won't need to be in that position a lot.
Totally.
I think he's definitely worth taking the risk on.
I agree.
As
Yeah.
yeah, because he's being drafted as like quarterback 20, quarterback 21. So if you want to take him near the end of your draft, I think that's a very fair thing to do. I would say keep him around Brock Purdy standards. He'll probably be like outside of the top 10, but I think he might be above average. Average to above average is what I project this season.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I mean, too, you got to look at it, Kyle. Like, does Brock Purdy have Justin Jefferson? You know, Brock Purdy
No, not right now.
has the offensive line, right?
Yeah.
And so do the Vikings. So does JJ McCarthy. So um it's just it's he he has everything he needs to succeed. Will he take that step as a rookie?
Yeah.
Not a rookie, a sophomore, sorry.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's a rookie to us.
he's basically
a
a rookie
rookie to
because
us.
he's first season playing. But hey, man, if we just based it off of that preseason game he had last year,
Oh my
before
gosh, it was such
he
a
got
good
hurt,
preseason game.
dude, he kind of killed it.
With
So
Justin Jefferson on commentary in a reporter's ear, and he was watching the whole play. He's like, "Let's go!"
yeah,
It was if he
was
can bring a little
he
bit
was
of
fun to
that,
watch.
I think this team's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the running back group is going to be a little interesting this season. I think Aaron Jones did way better than anyone anticipated he would do on his own when he got signed to the Vikings. He was very, very good. But they made a trade with the Niners to get Jordan Mason, which I think is very fascinating because Jordan Mason was very good for the Niners when they lost Christian McCaffrey before he ended up getting hurt himself.
Yeah.
And he's only, if I can remember right, he doesn't even have too much experience as a running back. Like he came in and started learning the position just a couple years ago.
Oh.
Like, so he's a very interesting story as well as an interesting player. And I wonder if it's going to work as like a 1-2 punch like Aaron Jones used to have in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Or could the player of Jordan Mason overtake Aaron Jones as he's getting
Right.
older?
Yeah, and I think that from everything that I've been seeing this offseason, they are going to go into it as a 1-2 punch situation just because Aaron is older, and I think he needs that. That he produced so well on Green Bay with who's that guy?
With
AJ Dillon.
AJ
AJ
Dillon.
So it's looking to be that type of scenario from everything that I've heard, but I like Jordan Mason a lot. He's a very strong, like, break tackles play type running back.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, so yeah, I like him, and I think he could easily overtake Aaron Jones because Aaron is extremely old
Yeah.
for running back. And he's he gets hurt almost every year, so definitely watch Jordan Mason.
Definitely a stash option.
Definitely a stash, yeah.
I'm actually very excited to see what he could do this season, to see what he could do on a new team and a new situation.
Yeah.
Well, and then we move over to the receivers here. And we already know Justin Jefferson, one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. He's going to do that pretty much right away again. But then we get someone like Jordan Addison, who not recently, it's a similar to a Rashee Rice situation. Got into some trouble a year or two back, and is finally getting paid for it. Consequences of his actions rise again. He's going to get a multi-game suspension. Most people think it will probably be around 3 games or so. If this is the case, at least for the early point of the season, it's going to rise TJ Hawkinson's stock up a bit, who's already being drafted as the 5th tight end right now in redrafts, as well as I believe they drafted a rookie for this team, Ty Felton.
Ty Felton. Mm-hmm.
It's going to give him a big opportunity as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
Jalen Naylor. Sorry,
that's right. Jalen Naylor is still there as well
for that spot. But yeah, that sucks that happened to Addison because he's a great player. But he will be back.
Yeah,
and hopefully that doesn't hurt the team too much. But yeah, I agree. TJ's stock should go up because of that. TJ is a great tight end to have.
TJ, I'm a big fan of what TJ's been able to do on the Vikings. Last season was a bit weird because he was injured for a good chunk of the season, and then when he came in, they kind of used him, but they tried to keep him rested. But I think he's fully recovered from that injury now. And there were times before, I remember when Justin Jefferson was out, where he just shot off, and he was like the number 1 tight end in fantasy.
Yeah.
So I think with more opportunities opening up, he's going to be the second receiving option for this team in the early portion of the season. Should be a very useful tight end in fantasy, going pretty much where he should. And outside of that, that just about covers it, Jake.
Yep.
We just finished up the NFC North. It's going to be really tough to see who wins out this division. It's probably the toughest division in football next to, like, say, maybe the AFC West. It's going to be a battle. Every division game is going to be great.
Yeah.
But as far as what we're going to do, the next video will come out is we're going to talk about the NFC South and then the West after that. And if you want to check out any of the other division videos we've done, we'll leave them up in the little corner in the side. And you can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have an Instagram page. We have a lot of different places that you can check us out from now.
Yeah. Tune in to the next ones, and hopefully this entertains you. Maybe you learn a little bit, or just like listen to us talk.
Yeah. Football is coming back. We're almost there. We're almost there, man.
Dude, almost there.
Yeah. Until next time, everybody, stay simple, you dang little simpletons.
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally believable.
How it's done, run, we run it down. Whole world singing our sound.